Okay, well, I thought you guys could all hear that. We have Tom and Ann Palmieri here with us, who are in charge of the ProgStock Festival, and Mike Keneally, who will be performing at the ProgStock Festival. Tom and Ann, please say hi and introduce yourselves and tell us about this festival. And I'll work on my audio routing and make sure you can hear the tracks for the rest of this interview.
Sure, no problem.
That way we can join in the dancing.
Right.
Uh, yeah. Hi, Tom Palmieri and Rinaldi. I actually didn't take his name. Um,
She left me something. It's nice of her,
we
wasn't it?
left him hanging. Yeah, and we are the co-producers of the ProgStock Festival. This is going to be our 9th year coming up in October at the Williams Center in Rutherford, New Jersey from October 9th through 12th. The 9th is our pre-festival show and includes a Rush tribute band called Fred Barchetta. I always forget the Fred. And then the festival itself kicks off on Friday and runs through Sunday night.
Awesome. And tell us a little about the track we just heard. I just heard, and you knew I was listening to, which was Rachel Flowers' A.B.
The absolutely fabulous and unbelievably talented Rachel Flowers. First, I'll say this: Rachel has been with us every year that ProgStock has existed, and we kind of internally and externally make it clear that it's not a festival without Rachel in attendance and playing something for us all. That song, she says, was inspired by the music of Adrian Belew. So when you hear that song, you can feel the influence very quickly and easily. And I could see you bobbing your head even though I couldn't hear it. I felt the rhythm. So
Great
it's such
song.
a wonderfully put together song that she did get to play with us live a couple years back. So
Awesome. Okay, and we've got Mike here with us. You want to tell us a little about Mike Keneally and his participation this year?
sure. So don't know where it is on your screen. It's down the bottom of mine, but there's the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Keneally. And now he's much closer. And Mike has become, in as we see it, just an incredibly wonderful friend and supporter of what we do at ProgStock. We are highly grateful for everything he has been doing since he started hanging around with us a couple years back. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, the first year was in
2021.
2021. Was that right? That's when Mike helped single-handedly on a phone for hours to save us from the pit of despair associated with a band that had to pull out, and the Zappa band was pulled right in to take its place. And we have only Mike Keneally to thank for that, and of course the Zappa Family Trust and everyone else. But he made it happen, and we're grateful beyond belief. And last year, Mike was kind of the sort of man appearing in all sets, playing with almost everybody as a utility player. When we told the roster last year, hey, Mike Keneally's coming, he's not playing really his own set, would you like him? The number of people that said, what? was incredible. So, and he played with a number of people this year, of course. He's bringing the amazing Beer for Dolphins band experience to us, which I believe contains the original lineup of that band. So I think we're in for a treat.
Yeah, Mike, tell us what's to be expected and what's going to happen.
It's hi, by the way. Hi, I wasn't sure if I was officially on screen yet.
Yeah, you are now.
Okay, good. Yeah, it'll be what has essentially become what I've now come to refer to, and it's more sense in print as the core at CORE, the quartet of Beer for Dolphins, which is me and Brian Beller and Rick Musalam and Joe Travers. But we will also be enhanced for part of our set by Dave Bainbridge and Sally Minier, who will also be performing their own set at the festival. So there are certain songs of mine that don't get played very often usually because of more elaborate vocal requirements, but also instrumental requirements. And it was actually while watching Dave and Sally at last year's ProgStock, where I was a man about town, jumping up on a lot of different sets. But for Dave and Sally, I actually got to sit out and watch them. I just thought, man, it would be really cool because I had already discussed with Tom and Ann about BFD playing, and I thought, what could be a special thing? And I thought, Dave and Sally are around. I sure would love it if they could join me for part of my set. And then the wheels started turning, and I thought of several songs in particular that don't get played very often. One in particular that hasn't been played live since the late '90s. And I thought if they were in the band, certain things would become possible for me to do. And thank goodness they were amenable. So when we play at ProgStock, we'll do about an hour of just the set, and then Dave and Sally will join us for the big super mega Beer for Dolphins.
That's awesome. Super cool. So well, let's listen to. Okay, I need to introduce this playlist real quick. But Tom put together a playlist of musicians or acts that will be playing at ProgStock, and obviously that includes you, Mike. And I'll share the link to the playlist in the video description for this video. But Mike, one of your tracks, "Beautiful," is on here, and this song has a bit of a reputation. I've loved it since 1995, maybe when it came out.
97.
97. Yeah, incredible,
Mhm.
incredible song. But tell us about what we're going to hear.
Well, this is a bit of documentary reportage of a journalistic approach to a thing that actually happened to me, and it's literally just a description of a number of things that occurred on this particular day, and right after the sort of main punchline thing happened, which was a large chunk of I think it was cement came. I was driving down the road, and this thing came flying out of nowhere and smashed my windshield. And fortunately, I had some reasonably strong windshield glass that kept it from literally entering the car and thus me. But it was nasty, and so my heart and pulse were racing, and I pulled off the road and made some phone calls, and I had to wait for somebody to come and collect me. And while it's happening, I went into a coffee shop, and I had a newspaper with me, and I wrote the words to the song on the newspaper. And then the idea was that I was thinking it was going to end up being some Primal Scream thing because I was very upset at the time. But then with a little bit of distance, it ended up getting this kind of jaunty musical treatment, and I decided a fun thing to do would be to take the Jazz Discharge Party Hats approach, and to sing and play the melody at the same time on a guitar. So what you're hearing is me just singing about what happened to me that day, and playing along on the trusty old Fender Strat at the same time.
And I just want to say this is from the album Sluggo, which is easily in my top 5 rock albums of all time. Just, I have loved this album for almost 30 years? Holy cow.
Coming up 30.
I've had to buy it 3 times because it got stolen from my car and it got stolen from my college dorm.
Oh no. I thought you were going to say because we remixed it and forced you to buy it again.
No, I don't even.
No, people.
I got to buy that copy. I got to buy that one. All right, here we go.
Mike pays those guys to steal those CDs, just so you know.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Stolen album.
comforting thought. For years I believed that 90% of the people in the world were useless and should die. This thought accompanied me and sometimes kept me warm. But today I thought about how many wonderful people I've met in the last couple of years. In fact, the vast majority of people I've had contact with recently have been wonderful. And if I am to take them as a representative sampling, then most people in the world are wonderful. This made me kinda happy, and I took the newspapers to recycle them. And I got some Kleenex for my poor wife who's sick today. And then I brought them to her. This beautiful world is a fantasy, not unlike the fairy tales of old. If you're smart, you'll do what you're told. If the beautiful world is depressing you, then simply call this number if you're bold. We'll gladly lead you back to the phone. I worked on the Hungarian part of the instrumental with Driesel at Joe's Garage, and it was a lot of fun. And I met Linda and Lisa from Rock City News at the Cat and Fiddle. They were great and it was a good interview. I had fun. Then I went to Aaron's and got the generic Flipper CD for $1.98. So apart from it being sick, it was a great day. And while I was driving west and Wilshire to see Chad Wackerman, someone driving east threw a heavy object at my car and cracked the windshield. A big crack screwed up the antenna too. It could have killed me and they never would have known. So I want to thank that person for reminding me that in this world there are people who should just die. This beautiful world is a fantasy, not like the fairy tales of old. If you're smart, you'll do what you're told. If the beautiful world is depressing, then simply call this number if you're bold. We'll gladly lead you back to the phone. This beautiful world is a fantasy, not unlike the fairy tales of old. If you're smart, you'll do what you're told. If the beautiful world is depressing you, simply call this number if you're bold. We'll gladly lead you.
So good. That song is
Thank
just
you.
incredible.
Thank you.
Now, Mike,
Appreciate
are you going out on tour after ProgStock, or is it before?
Yes, after.
Okay, that's
And
what I thought.
and Anne will be with us. So if it, not
Not
only
by the way. I carry the
coming?
bags. That's my job.
Woo! Tom and Ann will be there. So if you come out to see us, not only will you get a night of fabulous music with Dave and Sally and Matt Dorsey opening with a solo set, but you get to hang out with Tom and Ann. And personally, I can't imagine anything better.
And tell
No
us,
pressure. Thanks.
how many shows?
There's 5 after ProgStock, 6 total.
Yep.
Great.
Mhm.
Okay, awesome. That's great. So, Tom or Anne, whoever's best to speak to this one, the next song I wanted to play is called Where You Dream Now by the Kate Hinote Trio. right? That's the correct
You
pronunciation.
got it.
Yes, you
All
got
right,
it.
cool.
Yes.
Tell us
Yeah.
about this
So
song.
I'm not sure I could tell you about the song per se because I haven't spoken to Kate about its origin and such, but I'll tell you this about the trio. It's a relatively recently formed trio, and it includes Kate, of course, but it also includes our good friend Matthew Parmenter from Discipline, who has an outlet now, as he's said before, an outlet to just really go back to playing violin, which he's extremely good at, and people will have known 30 years ago with the music that Discipline and Matthew was putting out then. My lord, we're going to say 30 years a lot on this. um, but we just got a great chance to see Kate and the trio perform in Detroit about a week ago when Discipline had their album release party, and Kate Hinote Trio did a nice opening set. It was really great. They didn't play this tune, but they're going to have a 45-minute set with us, maybe a 40-minute set with us. So we thought to include Kate and the trio because, well, quite frankly, because they're not very much what people might consider a progressive rock act. They do have some progressive influence from Matthew working with them recently, but they are a breath of fresh air, a great folksy trio that I think people will finally be able to relax in the middle of the festival and have a nice sigh of relief and hear some really beautiful music with an amazing voice. Kate's voice is unbelievable. So
Yeah, we like to include some what I call prog adjacent palate cleansers. Sometimes it's jazz fusion, sometimes it's a beautiful voice like Kate's.
it's Mike Keneally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the reason I chose these 7 songs from your playlist to play on this video, I listened through the whole thing and I thought, wow, this song is so striking. I know it doesn't have the sort of hallmarks of anything proggy, but man, what a great song, and her voice is incredible. So yeah, I thought we could just I actually wanted to open with this song because it resonated with me. But yeah, let's check it out. Kate Hinote Trio, Where You Dream Now.
Awesome.
I will reside in silent motion, windows of pain flash, I don't care what walls I've found, the only thing I want is ground. Presented with notions of denial, berated hearts beat and reach colliding in a time the storms you wish for won't arrive. Fear can cover the world and I will doubt. Found me in the dark and dug me out. You will know everything. I won't tell where you dream now. Reasoning for your self-destruction, I say it depends on if you sought to douse the flames and be engulfed that way again. You're given a choice but won't forget. Unending belief in grief sustains the poetry. You give more than I need to take. Fear can cover the world and I will doubt. Found me in the dark and dug me out. You will know everything. I won't tell where you dream
All right, I'm gonna cut it there. It's a great song, very gentle giant. Like I could hear this on In a Glass House or something like that. It's really wonderful.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I love that.
yeah, I'm such a
Mhm.
sucker for a song that has D to A minor too. I don't know what it is.
Well, it's the saddest of all keys, you know.
Mhm.
The song Billy Breathes by Fish. I know I get a lot of crap when I mention Fish on the channel, but the song Billy Breathes is an unbelievable song and starts out in D major, A minor. And then I think a reunion also does that by Gentle Giant. I think it starts out D to A major, but then it goes D to A minor in the verses or something. But I don't know what it is. I just love the sound of that chord change.
Nice.
uh,
But yeah, that was. I look forward to if they play that live. I look forward to hearing that live. That's a really nice song.
for sure, for sure. Tom, you mentioned Matthew Parmenter a couple of times and the band Discipline. The next song I
Right.
wanted to play is called Canto 4 from Discipline. Um, for
Hmm.
those of us who don't know the band, like tell us about how you picked this song. You know, why'd you pick this song? Why'd you pick Discipline, the act, all that?
So first, I could say this. Back when I started the festival in 2017, um, you know, uh, folks who were part of the team at the time heard me say this, that way back then I said one of my bucket list bands to have play this festival is Discipline. And when people have even asked me, like, how do you explain to someone what progressive rock is? And you can go the traditional route, you never heard of Yes or Genesis or, and so on and so forth. But whenever I want to give them a real living example, I give them Discipline as a band to listen to. It's not your traditional. It is actually in a lot of ways traditional because it's got keys, it's got really great key choices, it's got really great time signature changes, it's got really good the bones of good progressive rock music, but some of it is just a little harder edge and a little bit more, I think, accessible to especially even younger kids today, quite frankly, who I play it for, the music for. And Canto 4 is probably my second favorite Discipline song. I didn't want to just pick all my favorites. It's also an example of how band and Matthew can write an epic that really stands, in my opinion, up against some of the bigger epics that we all, worship. So,
Well,
um,
not to,
and
I don't mean to, I don't know, diminish the name in any way, but is it a nod to the King Crimson album, or, is there any sort of relation there? Or is it
the
just
band
the
name,
word
yeah,
Discipline?
the band was definitely named after the name of a King Crimson album. Yes, but the music, although there are shades of influence you can hear in some of the stuff from multiple Crimson eras, to be quite frank with you, their music is really nothing like, at the end of the day, like your traditional King Crimson music. It's just that's the name that Matthew chose, and that's what it stuck. That band has been, doing its thing for 30 years. So again, that 30 is going to be over and over again. But yeah, and go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Discipline is one of those go-to albums in the car, we listen to it so much, and the lyrics are just amazing. And one of the things I tell everybody about Discipline is you need to see them live, because Matthew is by nature a performer, and
A performing artist.
yeah,
It's like
the live is like it's like musical theater, including face paint.
Huh.
Mhm.
Oh,
The mask that you see on some of their album covers is actually the mime mask that Matthew wears when he performs.
okay. Well,
Mhm.
this track is almost 14 minutes, so we'll just do the first couple of minutes, but it's a rocker. I really like this one.
Sure.
All right, let's check it out. It's called Canto
Cool.
4 Limbo by Discipline.
forevermore, with diamonds in the heavens and a throng upon the shore. I dreamed I was a good man, a father with a trade. I didn't see it coming, that was no choice that I made. And here I am in limbo, dark and deep and thick with clouds o'erspread. The eons tick like seconds in the village of the dead. But how can there possibly be no more room up there for me? Here I am in limbo. Here I
Very cool. I was it's funny when I saw the bio on Spotify, I was like, yep, Vandergraaf, yep, Genesis, Steve Hackett. Yep.
It's all
Mike-
in there.
Mike, tell us your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I really appreciate that vocal performance in particular. I anybody who can really commit to a dramatic approach to a vocal, and it just sounds like it comes naturally from them. That's yeah, and then combine that with a really engaging stage presence, which Matthew definitely does, and so I have a lot of respect for him and for that band. So I'm into it.
Awesome. Cool. So Tom and Ann, the next track on my sub playlist of yours is Redemption by I.O. Earth. Tell us about this band.
So this band is probably the only band that has the record for the most appearances on Cruise to the Edge. I think they are the only one that has been on almost all of them, but maybe one or two. And that means they're flown over from England every time. They're from Birmingham. They've been doing this for a couple of decades now, and they've become fast friends of ours as well. So it makes it very blissfully easy to work with them. But one of the things that we did last year is we do this commonly, where when a band is going to play in a certain year of the festival, in the previous year we'll bring a representative of that band out to the festival the year before to be a part of the crowd. And when we announce that band is coming next year, it's got a little bit of legitimateness to it, because hey, look, there's someone from the band here. And we did that last year with Dave and Adam from I.O. Earth. But one of the things that's very important to us is supporting these musicians even beyond just hiring them. I.O. Earth suffered a major problem a little over a year ago. Their studio, where they had done all of their creative work for their entire career, burned to the ground. It was an entire industrial complex that took a lot of other things with it. And not only did the whole thing burn to ashes to the ground, but they lost everything except for 3 or 4 items, one of which was a guitar that somehow survived in a case and was then refurbished, and Dave does play it now. But ever since then, we started a fundraising campaign for them, and we kind of made it very clear when we first talked with them after that, we want to have you back. You haven't been with us in a few years. You've got great new material, and we want to do anything we can to help you pick the ashes up and rise like a phoenix from it. So that's why they're coming out. And Redemption is just an amazing song from an amazing album. Man, do you want to?
Well, and they're doing something unique for us this year. They are bringing the orchestra. So they have horns and strings that are actually all people from New Jersey that are joining I.O. Earth to do their what they call the Orchestra of Sound and Emotion, which they've only ever had in Birmingham.
Right.
They've never brought that on the cruise or to any other location because it's quite the posse to travel with. So Joe Denenzone, actually the violinist from Kansas now, and of course his own band Stratusferius, helped them organize the strings and horns that they needed to do this very unique performance at ProgStock this year.
That's great.
Very cool. All right, let's check out this song, Redemption from I.O. Earth. It doesn't get a lot better than that.
That's going to be very epic. And
I'm not sure if you can tell, but Dave Puritan's favorite guitar player is Steve Vai. So
I was just checking the performance schedule. I don't know if I'm allowed to tip the fact that there's going to be another special guest during the I.O. Earth performance, and
I think you can.
I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't conflicting with the BFD rehearsal, and it's not. So I
It's
will
not.
be. Yeah, thanks for fixing that. So
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
I will be hopping up on stage with I.O. Earth just as I played with the emissaries from I.O. Earth last year, because they're really, really good guys.
Mhm.
Very cool. Man, awesome track. Thank you for sharing that, Tom. Okay, so the next song, Tom or Ann, The Fisherman 3. I think there's Jimmy Keegan, right?
Yes.
So Jimmy, as several others have, has become a regular at ProgStock. He's one of our co-hosts this year. Although I think his co-hosting duty is going to be going to be challenging because I believe he's also playing with 4 bands. So as Jimmy does, Jimmy's organizing a carnival of rehearsals the week before the festival with a bunch of bands that either don't live in the same place or have never played together before, or
didn't exist before.
didn't
Yes.
exist before. It's an interesting thing. We like to call them ProgStock moments. It's sort of like what Mike was describing earlier with finding out Dave and Sally's nature and thinking, "Ooh, I'd love to add them to our band." There's a band coming together this year called Serengazer, which is Seren Sadler and Michael Sadler of Saga, Jimmy Keegan, Matt Dorsey, and Paul Bilitovich. And if you don't know Paul, he tours with Carl Palmer. Matt Dorsey was in Sound of Contact and many times in the Dave Kersner band, but is also a soloist who'll be going out on tour with Mike and Beer for Dolphins when they go out. But that band came together, out of whole cloth from knowing each other from ProgStock. And they are still writing their material. So it's possible that one of Jimmy's solo tracks will end up being part of their set. And they are opening for Steve Hogarth doing his H Natural set
On Sunday
from
night.
Marillion on Sunday night. So that should be interesting. Jimmy is also playing with his band Pattern Seeking Animals on Saturday night. They are our headliner. And who else is Jimmy playing?
I'm sure. Oh, he's going to play with
Melanie Martin and Martin, Melanie and Martin, who are bringing not only their usual acoustic style material to us, but they're also bringing their Flaming Row, which is a more hard-hitting progressive rock band, and Jimmy will be part of that set as well. So.
And I played a guitar solo on the upcoming Flaming Row album, so we're
Yes, you did. And Martin told everybody, but he told me that there are 33 guest singers on that new album, and I had to tell him, "I'm sorry, Martin, I can't fit that many people on stage this year, so cut it down a bit."
We don't have that many microphones,
right? Yeah.
So
holy cow, that's incredible. ProgStock is a place of many relationships and cross-pollination. Very cool.
Absolutely.
I didn't realize there was such a tight community around it. My
It's
new album.
It's definitely a family. It's definitely
That's
a family.
yeah,
that's cool.
Well, and our Facebook group is actually called ProgStock Family, but we do think of ProgStock as more of a convention than just a festival.
Mhm.
And we really encourage the artists to stick around the whole weekend so that they do run into each other, invite each other on stage, and all sorts of chaos ensues. It's fun.
That's cool. I was proud of having 16 guest artists on my new album, but now 33. I got to step it up.
Yeah,
that was just the singers.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, and I mean last year I think Mike, you played with Dorsey and Keegan. We had Keneally, Keegan, Dorsey up there for a song or two, just jamming and
well, I ended up having to do
up there.
I ended up having to do an emergency solo set because Patrick Moraz wasn't able to make it.
Right.
So I was drafted to do that, and then I thought, well, I got to do something to bring it home with the more firepower at the end of my set, and that's when Matt and Jimmy came up, and we just improvised, and it was pretty huge.
It was great.
It was awesome.
It was great.
But I also sat in with Dave Curtin and with Gong, which was that was
by far the most amazing, mind-blowing part to me was you and the guys from Gong who were beside themselves that you were on stage with them. It was just amazing.
Faces were melted.
Yes.
that was fun. That was really fun.
Not to make this about me at all, I just happened to see Gong here in Phoenix 2 months ago, and
Right. A lucky man.
I could not believe that show.
They're so good. They are so
totally off the chain.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
You hear this, sometimes you hear names of bands and they've been playing for 50 years or whatever, and it's like, okay, they're still doing their thing, but this is not, Gong has always changed, but like this version of Gong was all power. I just I couldn't get over
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's tremendous. People need to not fear the fact that it's that it's a newer iteration. It's like the new generation of Gong, and people wonder about its authenticity. It is so Gong. It's amazing.
It's not just so Gong. The energy, it was just such a high energy powerhouse show. And actually, Paul Sears and his band Chosen Few opened up, and they were great. But yeah, just to see that band perform live and meeting all of them, they're so mild mannered, and then to see them on stage, you're like, holy cow, what a
No, Kavis is a rock star. He's a total rock star.
yeah, he really is. He really is.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
Let's do Jimmy Keegan.
Jimmy Keegan.
All right.
Yeah.
Fisherman 3. Here we go.
Where are you going?
Here we go.
What do you wish? The old moon asked the three. We've come to fish for the herring fish that live in the beautiful sea. Once I knew me a preacher man. Once I knew me a circus clown. Once I knew a fish out of water.
Yeah.
All dressed up in a wedding gown. Now I don't believe in yesterday. Now I'm just a man out of time. And the fishermen three are friends of mine. And there ain't no judgment day. And there ain't no big grass green. And there ain't no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow or anything. It's just the things that be. Not afraid are we. Say the fisherman three. Once I fell from a mountaintop. Once I fell on a feather bed. Once I fell under the spell of a temptress. Ended up in a hole half dead. Now I don't believe in yesterday. What do you wish? The old moon asked the three. We've come to fish for the herring fish that live in the beautiful sea. Where are you going? What do you wish? The old moon asked the three. We've come to fish for the herring fish that live in the beautiful sea. Where are you going?
Man.
Great song.
And how common is it these days for there to be an amazing singing drummer?
Well, yeah.
It's
I mean,
funny
when
you
he plays
mentioned that.
live, he sing. Yeah,
Well, I immediately thought of Jellyfish, who has a
No.
singing drummer. And I was like,
right.
man, that intelligent pop rock, pure performance, pure, intonation on the vocals. It's just like perfect. I didn't know Jimmy played drums and sang. So even more
Yeah,
Oh
no,
yeah,
Jellyfish.
he does that live all the time. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's such a wonderful presence. He's just like a positive force. But did he write that? What is that? Is that on a solo record of his?
It's on
Yeah.
his solo album. Yes. Mhm.
What's the name of his solo album?
Jimmy
Where are
Keegan.
you
Got a
going?
couple.
But it says composer is Mark Spiro and Jamie
Okay.
Heath on that song.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm seeing two albums: "Friend of All Creatures" and Jimmy Keegan. Anyway, oh no, those are Pattern Seeking Animals albums. Anyway, I need to do some research because I never heard that song before, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the album is his self-titled, like eponymous album, Jimmy Keegan.
It's just called Jimmy Keegan. Okay,
yes.
So
that's fantastic.
yeah, I agree. A great song. Tom and Ann, we're approaching the last song on this playlist, and this is the ProgStock 2025 artists playlist. There's a link in the video description, so if you want to hear all these songs, just click that link. But Tom and Ann, just before we go and listen to the last track, tell us, when is ProgStock? Where do people go to buy tickets? What can they expect? All that jazz. Give us the pitch.
Sure. They might even get some jazz. So the ProgStock 2025 Festival is happening October 9th through 12th in the town of Rutherford, New Jersey, at a beautiful vaudeville-era theater. It's mostly indoors. They will do some indoor and outdoor activities. And it's a great experience that I think people will recognize as being more than just about the music, which will obviously blow you away, but also about the community, the family feel, about all of the other attractions that will be there, vendors selling merchandise. There will be fine artists. In fact, fine artists that have a lot of relationship to the progressive rock world. One of our visiting artists is Annie Haslam of Renaissance, who will not be there performing because she's done with that, but she's an amazing painter, and she has been for well over a decade. And she will be bringing a lot of her art there. And also we have a great famed rock and roll photographer and journalist, Armando Gallo, with us, who was there from the very beginning when Genesis got started and when Peter Gabriel got started on his solo work. And he has a lot of photos that only he could have taken because of the level of access he had to those artists at the time. And the whole thing feels more like a convention. So we hope people experience that. There's lots of fun things to do, including, I think, Mike, you saw last year, the pumpkin sculptor who was with us.
Absolutely.
Famous
Yeah.
Yeah, from the Food Network. Every year he and his team come and do some amazing things. So they'll even teach people to sculpt if they want.
And Roby One bears mentioning too.
Absolutely. Part of our action is outdoors at the festival in the outdoor plaza area in front of the theater doors. And in fact, you don't have to have a ticket to experience this part of the festival. The whole town can come, and they do, to hang around because there's a whole set of instruments out there. Roby One brings about 6 to 8 keyboards. They're all set up. We'll have a theremin out there. We'll have a bunch of other things, and he'll just jam all day long in between the sets. And other musicians that are on the bill will come out and perform with him just spontaneously. Ones who are just visiting, people who just are attendees who happen to be musicians will get up there and play with him. It's an absolutely great experience out front. And Robert Schindler, Roby One, holds down the fort for us every year, all 3 days of the weekend. Absolutely great. Thank you for bringing that up, Mike.
And the easiest way to find all things ProgStock is progstock.com. It's an easy fly into Newark and a short train ride to Rutherford. And we also have a really good booking code for the local and host hotel on our website that you can use to get a room that won't require you donating organs to pay for your hotel.
Right.
So,
Just out of curiosity, is that pumpkin carver Dean Arnold?
Yes, indeed.
indeedy.
Yes.
Dean's good.
Yes,
He's
he
a good
is.
guy.
And he brings a whole team with him.
Yes.
Yep. All right. Awesome. And Mike, where can we find details about the upcoming tour?
You can find them at Keneally.com, but also at the acrmanagement.com.
That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And all the each of the shows has its own little Facebook event. So you can go there and look at the individual shows, but there's also links out all over the socials to the landing page that has all the ticket links on it.
And this tour is stretching from New York City to Chicago with a few stops in between. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. Very, very a lot of fun.
Very well wishes for the road, and
Thank you.
hope you guys sell all the tickets. So if you're
Thank
watching
you.
All of
this,
them.
go buy the tickets. Just do
Yeah.
it.
I do recommend buying the tickets because they are actually flying off the shelves rather quickly. So, yeah.
Delighted to hear that.
Yeah, and for whatever it's worth, I've seen Beer for Dolphins maybe 3 or 4 times, and unbelievable. I mean, the whole band it's one of the best live bands I've ever seen, but to see Joe Travers play drums in person, that's a gift.
It's really, you know, I don't have much distance from it because I'm in the band, but yeah, all the guys are ferocious, and Joe and Brian Beller have a musical relationship that's gone on since the early '90s when they were going to Berkeley together, and it's just it's an explosive thing to be a part of, and I haven't been able to play very much with Brian Beller lately because he's been touring constantly with the Aristocrats and Satriani and various things. But it's the planets have aligned, and he's actually going to be doing these shows with us. So I'm very happy about this.
Fantastic. All right, and this last track, Tom and Ann, it's called Unobtainium by the Cyberiam. Tell us about this band, this track. Why is it on the playlist? Enlighten us before we listen.
Yeah, so I chose it because it is the title track from their most recent album, and it is an example, a full in-your-face example of the power of this band. People might think it's a relatively young band. The members of the band don't feel so young all the time, but Cyberiam was last with us in 2019, right before COVID, and every year at ProgStock. Pretty much every year, there's a band that people discover for the first time because they never heard of them before or what have you, and people go out of their way to tell us, and so we kind of learn anecdotally without having to ask the question, like which band was the band this year that blew people's doors away.
The sleeper,
right? And the Cyberiam won that award in 2019, and since then it's been hard for any other sleeper band to have as much of a raucous, totally we didn't solicit it kind of feedback from the audience. My God, you have to bring them back. They were amazing. I never heard of them before. That's this band.
yeah. Last year it was Advent Horizon.
That's true. You're right.
Cool. All right, let us take a listen to wait, where's my little thing? All right. Let's take a listen to Unobtainium by the Cyberiam. Get your tickets for ProgStock at ProgStock.com and the BFD tour with Mike Keneally at Keneally.com. And if you're this far in the video, I will ask you to please like and subscribe to Make Word Music. Thank you.